Hello fellow viewer, fellow gamer, here QcWarChief with the Minutemen Legacy. Today we are in Elite Dangerous and we are talking about the private group session the Legacy is holding on Xbox Live. I repeat it, we are sitting on Xbox Live. We are not playing with the PC player, we play in private also to be able to moderate our own environment. Therefore, wicked players get pushed away really fast. On Xbox Live, the community is a little bit smaller than on PC, although that doesn't mean that they are less active. At the very moment Odyssey is about to come out, the player base is about to explode, and the Minutemen Legacy is preparing a private group session for the people that are willing to play on Xbox Live a massively player versus environment game. After playing a certain time, we realize that we can influence the systems, the galaxy, the planet, the company, but influencing those by yourself will become labor, really long, really exhausting, and before you see results on the galaxy map, it's gonna take a while. This is why we propose a private group session where we are inviting people to have their squadron, have their own friends, their minor faction at some point, and work together to influence the systems. As example, I'm probably gonna stand for the Alliance, but inside my crew right now we have some Feds, we may have some Imperials too. So nothing that we are choosing is closing our option. It's not because we stand for the Alliance that it's preventing us to work with the Federation, although you can be specialized. And that's why we have the private group session right now, because you can decide to join us with a bunch of friends. You moderate your own friends. You pass by me, QcWarChief, to make sure that they have access to the session, and you keep joining that session. If you join a solo session, you go back to your session, influencing your own galaxy. Therefore, it's really important that even though you play by yourself, you join the right private group session I hold. So therefore, you are experiencing the influence that we are doing inside the galaxy, and you can also participate in that influence. The funny thing is that we're not fighting against each other, but somehow companies will compete, and it becomes interesting because we can actually push some company against some of your friends, some of our friends, just to mess with them a little bit. It's always funny, I would say funny gaming. There's nothing really toxic about that. It's just the fact that we can influence the companies and the faction against each other. And that's really awesome that we can participate into the building of some station really slowly. Don't forget that the game is moving in real time. That aspect reduced drastically every potential developments that we can see about the humanity. At the very moment, Arma is building for station and is collecting the bounty voucher to help protect the systems and favorize the development of those two stations. So that's an example. This is an event, although it's not necessarily part of the influence that we are doing inside the game, but after time we are able to have that influence towards the faction, the minor faction, and the whole galaxy in the end. This covers the reason why we need to group together. This game is a long pace game. We need to group up in order to work together to make things move faster. And also the game is a lot easier when you share knowledge and when you share some time together inside the game, either for money or just for traveling or for some information. When you join the session, nobody will ask you to join a squadron. Nobody will ask you to do stuff that you don't want to do. Everybody plays this game the way they want. Some are travelers, some are combat, some are into cargo, some are more polyvalent. My point there is that there's no bad way to play the game, neither a good one. You play the game the way you want. There's a bad way to behave, that's different, and that's the reason why some people might get kicked from the session. You shoot at somebody else, that's the only rule. We don't do PvP. If you want to do PvP, you go in open play. But in the same direction, if you are a jerk, after a certain time, either you're gonna find yourself playing solo in the session because nobody will want to play with you, or you're gonna get kicked because you're gonna piss the wrong person inside the group. As I mentioned previously, I have administrators that are not necessarily identified inside the community, therefore some new players sometimes think that they need to behave good with me but not good with the others, and they have a bad surprise when that happens. Inside the session we have at the very moment my own squadron called the Minutemen Legacy, no big surprise there. We have also another squadron. This one is an European one, my friend is from Germany. It's Def Casey, you know it already, you probably saw the gamer tag passing the screen a few times. He's having a squadron called the Bavarian Bomb Squad, which is quite funny since he's from Germany. But the point is that we have people from Australia, we have people from the UK, from Germany, we have Americans. I'm American technically, America is a continent as I recall. And it brings a more populated session. I mean, if you join at noon, there's probably going to be somebody online, probably Def KZ and Son. If you join at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, close to the evening, you'll start having maybe the early Australian, the Americans, and we're gonna lose the UK slowly. They get to sleep. And later at night, the Australians are waking up and play for the whole night. It's usually, I usually touch a little bit of all the time zone. I sleep enough, I guess, but I do hit every time zone, so I'm able to socialize with everybody inside the session, make sure everything is going well. When you join the session, that brings you at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the more the session is growing, the more people there is in the session. I'm not asking you to become friends. I'm asking you to use the comms and maybe say hi when you pass by. Use the list, old select, go into the group, and you'll see the players that are online inside the group session. So if you're not friends with them, you'll be able to see if there is somebody else to either play with, become friend with, help, back up, or share some knowledge, or just leave alone because that person is doing solo things. That game involves many different kind of playing. Solo teaming is part of it. If you want to join the session, please communicate with me, QcWarChief, on Xbox Live. We have a Discord too. If you want to join the session, we appreciate that you are inside the Discord because this is where we do most of the communication. It becomes really a bunch of trouble for me to use 4 or 5 different platforms to send message to everybody. Discord is really good. You can follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on pretty much every platform that may concern video games. I'm trying to spread the Minutemen Legacy as much as possible. Please subscribe, please like, please communicate with me for the session. Be cool with the people in the session, and please come back.